Hi everyone, Tasha here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing a Grinch themed holiday card tutorial using items from Kat Scrappiness. The supplies I'll be using today is the Tinsel on the Tree Sprinkle Mix, and this is so cute. It has a whole bunch of different colors. I'll also be using the Bah Humbug Shadow Sentiment craft dies, the fun new Grinch handcraft dies. I love this so much. It's so much fun to make these little Grinch hands. For the frame of my shaker card, I'm just using an A2 sized frame die. I'll also be using the Merry Grinchmas paper, and this paper collection is double-sided, and the Christmas glitter paper. And then I did pre-cut the frame right away out of the gold pattern paper. And I'm just going to use the frame part of it, and it gives the perfect size for an A2 size card. And then I'll save that middle section. In addition, I did cut a piece of the Grinchmas paper that I'll be using for inside of my shaker. And I'm going with this fun ornament print. These are the colors of paper I'll be using to create my little Grinch hand, and then I'll use green glitter and red for the two bottom layers. To begin, I'm going to start with some red cardstock, and I'm going to cut the coat part of the Grinch's arm or his jacket, the bottom layer for my sentiment, and the ornament. And I'm just going to run this through once on my little die cutting machine. And each of these pop out really easily. This ornament does have the top part, so you can cut it down to size. If you don't want it to have it too long, you can trim it. And then again, there's that little part of his jacket. And then to keep those two little pieces together so I wouldn't lose them, I didn't cut the two ornament top pieces from the Grinch's hands. I just thought it was easier to keep them attached so I don't end up losing those two tiny pieces. So I'm running this through with a green color that was similar to a Grinch color. And then do you see when you put the little jacket part on, it fits perfectly, and then it starts to build the little Santa jacket. Now for the top of the ornaments, because I said I left those two little parts attached to the arm, I'm just going to run it through with some silver glitter. And since these little pieces are so small, it can be kind of hard to pop them out, but you can use this little poker tool from Kat Scrappiness and just poke inside of the little tiny hole, and then your little tiny die cut comes out really easily. Just make sure you don't lose it because it's really small. So now I'm going to use some white cardstock, and I'm going to cut out the Bah Humbug words, and then the little part of the jacket that's kind of like that fur part of the Santa jacket. And those are nice and bright and white, and then I'll assemble that in just a few minutes. So then I have my little Bah Humbug sentiment, and then now it's time to kind of put my little Grinch arm together. So I'm starting by kind of organizing my pieces, and I'm going to use some tweezers to just pick up the little pieces and then add glue so I don't get glue all over my fingers. This step is optional, but I just find it easier than trying to add glue and then hold that little piece of paper. So I'm just lining it up from one edge to the other and then pressing down for a few seconds just to make sure that glue adheres. After I had the little jacket attached, I added some glue to the back of the little white fur part, and I'm just going to put it on the bottom of the jacket where it hits the hand. And do you see how cute it looks? It looks like a little Santa jacket. And then I'm going to add some glue to my little ornament and place those two little silver glitter pieces that we cut out. This would also look great with silver foil paper or any type of gold, silver, or a gray paper. It kind of makes that top part of the ornament. So now you just have to decide how long you want to have your ornament hanging. I am going to trim mine down just a little bit for the card that I'm making, but you can keep it the longer length or make it as short as you want. I'm just adding a little bit of glue by his little fingers and then positioning the ornament in the center, holding it down just for a few seconds again, just to make sure everything is secure. So once I was done with my little Grinch hand, I'm going in with that poker tool again and I'm punching out my little Bah Humbug letters. I'm being very careful to make sure that I don't tear anything. And you see how there's still little pieces left in between those openings of the letters? You just go in again with this poker tool and they come out really easily. So this just takes a few seconds to do, and then I will glue them to that shadow layer. I love the way it looks with the red background and then the bright white letters. I think it looks really good with this holiday themed card, and it also coordinates with the ornament and the Grinch's Santa jacket. So I'm using my tweezers again to help me with adding the liquid adhesive. These letters are smaller than some of the shadow dies, word dies that I have. So tweezers really come in handy for this, and I like that it also helps you position them before you press down on that shadow layer. Now, this sentiment also has a little exclamation point at the end, so you want to make sure you don't lose that little dot or that little top part. And I'm just using the other end of that poker tool to help me place that onto that shadow. So once everything was in place, I set them aside to dry, and then I'm going to add some plastic to my frame. And Kat Scrappiness has these pre-cut sheets that you can purchase, and they come in the A2 size, and they also have the slimline, and I think they may even have a mini slimline size. So it makes it really convenient to have everything pre-cut. To attach the plastic to that frame, I'm using some score tape. I think this works the best with any type of shaker cards. It gives a really nice hold, better than liquid adhesive. And since this frame is thinner, it doesn't really fit the size glue runner that I have, so using the score tape is really convenient. I'm using that poker tool again to help me pick up the backing of my score tape, and then I'm just going to place my plastic right on top. Since it's the same size, it was really easy to line up, and then I just press down to make sure everything is attached. Next, I'm going in to add some foam tape, and this is going to be so we can add those sprinkles or those shaker bits to our card. But since, again, this frame is thin, I cut my foam tape into 3 strips. So you take your foam tape and then you just cut it into 3 different strips for that width, and it fits perfectly on this frame size. So I just went all the way around, and then I'm going to add my shaker pieces to the pattern paper. And you can add it to the plastic and then put your pattern paper on top of the plastic, but I just found this to be easier. I just put it right in the middle on my ornament pattern paper, and then I'm going to peel off the foam tape and place it on top of the sprinkles. I'm just making sure I get all the pieces, and then once I have it in place, I'm just going to press down firmly and make sure you really press down along each edge so that none of those little shaker bits fall out. And I did test it out and nothing fell out, so it's good to go. And then before I attached my little Grinch arm, I decided to decorate the ornament. This ornament would be pretty too if you wanted to cut it out of pattern paper or some glitter paper, but I decided just to make my own design with some gel pen, and this is just a white gel pen that I'm using. And I went around, added some little snowflakes and some hearts because it's a Grinch themed card, and I think it turned out really cute. So once that was done, it's time to add my Grinch arm to the front of that shaker card. I'm using liquid adhesive for this, and I'm just putting it all over the ornament and the Grinch arm. And I was going to use my tweezers. I did use it to pick up the little Grinch, but then I just used my hands to position it. It was easier just to get it where I wanted to and then press down on everything. I made sure that ornament was more centered because it did tilt a little bit, so I just moved it over. And then for the Bah Humbug, I'm using a piece of foam tape. I thought it looked really good having the Bah Humbug raised up just a little bit more. So I'm just using one of those thin pieces of foam tape that I cut when I was making that frame. And it fits perfectly along the bottom. And I love how all those colors look with that gold frame And I love all the shaker pieces. So once our shaker panel is all complete, it's time to just add our layers. I used a piece of green glitter paper to go with that Grinch theme, but still be the traditional red and green holiday colors, and then added a piece of red cardstock. Next, I'll add my shaker panel, and I'm just using glue runner for this. It's really easy to do. You could also use score tape, or you could use liquid adhesive for this part, since it's just paper to paper. And then make sure that I have it as straight as possible before pressing down. And look how cute it looks with that extra layer of green glitter in the background. I love all the sparkle in these holiday colors. And then the last part is just to attach it to a white card base. I am using heavyweight cardstock for my card base, and I made the card base the same size as the green glitter layer, so it was really easy to attach everything and make sure that it was nice and center. So this is my card for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it and will give it a try. All the items are in the description box below, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.